Season 3 is upon us, and after a little bit of friendly banter between me and a couple of other rival GMs, we are poised to lead SmackDown back to the top for our third consecutive year. We are on the countdown to SummerSlam, and Triple H is waiting to see how our first show fares in our Season 3 premiere. And as you can see, there's the roster that's kicking off our third season here. A lot of challenges that are going to be put in front of us as we went ahead, and again, like we saw in the draft episode, we're trying to go with a lot of less popular superstars that haven't really gotten an opportunity, that haven't been given the chance. And we're going to see if we can lead a brand of some nobodies, some faces that have died off in popularity, and see if we can bring them to the top along with our multi-championship brand of SmackDown. Booking out the first show in this third season, we have a pretty awesome show on store. We have our opening match, we have a title match on the line, we have the tables match with your Tamina champion, and she retains yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an unstoppable juggernaut. She went 16-0 last year as a double champ, and it doesn't look like she's slowing down anytime soon. She retains against Asuka, beginning the feud. Otis with a nice popularity boost there for himself. We have the mid-card tag team SmackDown titles on the line. Braun Breaker and Joaquin Wilde are your SmackDown tag team champions now as they take down Axiom and Madcap Moss. So we have Flint Stones, a little promo trying to grow popularity. Now we have our tag team championships on the line for the women's division, and JC Jane and her teammate Leah will be your new champs. It's not a very good match at a 2-star, but it does begin a tag team feud, and it leads to a fatal 4-way main event to kick this thing off as we have a tables match for the Universal Championship. Montez Ford versus Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens and Edge, and who will be your champion heading into Season 3, and it is none other than the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, just like it was in Season 1. A fatal 4-way for the title. He is your champ, and it now begins a feud for Cody Rhodes and Montez Ford. As we take a look at the drama curve of the opening episode of our show in the week 1, and we had a pretty good show overall for the opener. The main event, not too bad either, but WCW had a much stronger finish as they had right here Raquel Gonzalez and Gigi Dolan. A really good match there. That's a level 4 feud. They must be using some power cards automatically there. Again, everybody doing what we did except for Raw, apparently. We're putting some titles on the line, and I think it paid off well for us. We have some feuds brewing. Let's take a look though and see the viewership numbers here, as we had 21,000 fan gain. We gained a profit of over $172,000. And we also got some show notes here. JC and Aaliyah work really well as a tag team, and Kevin Owens has a really good feel for tables matches overall. So big stuff there. NXT behind us this week in the ratings by about 1,000 fans in the retention. Raw, right now the leader. They gained 26,000 fans. They are on top for this week. And WCW, they win the week. 29,000 fans gained by Bischoff and WCW. That again is my biggest threat in my opinion right now heading into this season. But Bischoff, WCW win the week, but we still have the most fans outright. And we've just been hit by the veto champ card applied. Tamina will not be available for any booking this week's show from NXT and Tyler Breeze. And another week has come upon us. It's another week to use a Birth of Legends card. We have 2 remaining, so it's time to give 6 stars, plus 6 popularity, and I couldn't ask for anybody better right there. As you see, plus 6 for all of those stars. That's a big jump for them. We're also going to go ahead and use cheat code, and this is going to be massive. We saw there's a lot of really great superstars over at NXT that had 100 popularity not being used. And I feel like it's just our place to go in there and maybe steal somebody. I'm looking quickly at Raw and SmackDown, or Raw and WCW as well, just in case. I don't want to leave any cards unturned here. So we're going to go ahead. NXT, we have an available superstar here. It was Rey Mysterio. You have Solo Sikoa. Io Sky looks like a humongous asset that we can use. But I'm going to go to the men's division, ladies and gents, and we are going to take and bring on, we're going to go Rey Mysterio. 100 popularity, sir. You'll see him next week. Time to head to the second week, and we have a pretty decent show here. We are giving a few superstars a break to recover for stamina. The opening match, we have KO versus Otis in a tables match, trying to build up a potential rivalry growth here. Otis with the win. Does grow the feud, though, between the two. It's a 2-star opener, not very nice to see. Asuka with an excellent promo call out of Tamina, growing the feud to level 2. We have our tag team women's rivalry matchup, and again, no title on the line here, just for the purpose of growing the feud. 2 stars, not what we want to see. Cody Rhodes getting a call out here from Montez for level 2 feud between those two. We have again our tag team champs taking on Axiom and Madcap Moss. The champs win. No titles on the line, 2-star feud. It's a 2-star match as well. And again, there's Ronda Rousey. We showed you at the end of last season, or the last episode. We've signed her on, beginning a feud now here with Cora Jade. And your main event will be the Rated R Superstar Edge taking on part of the Bloodline, Jey Uso, for the Intercontinental Championship in an Extreme Rules match. And Jey Uso with a 3.5-star match. He wins the title, but no feud develops. So week 2 was very mid for us. You see there, we're struggling at the start of the season, which I knew would be something because popularity's not really there. Performance isn't great between some of these talents. We're working with lesser stars. The star power is pretty non-existent except for a handful of our superstars. So right now NXT had a really solid show. They had Rey Mysterio, who is killing it. He'll be on our show next week. And then some others here as well that are just doing their thing very efficiently. Raw as well. I mean, you have Ezekiel and Dolph for the title. That's exciting to see. And then WCW, I mean, you got Mace and Shelton Benjamin battling it out for the championship. Some exciting stuff, but we didn't do great. Now, Moss and Axiom work well as a tag team. We got some show notes there, which is exciting to see. We gained 19,000 fans, a gain to profit as well. But that 19,000 is not going to cut it for very long. 22,000 from NXT. Not great to see. You got 25,000 from Raw trying to make a push. And WCW wins the week with 27,000 fans gained overall. So we're still on top in the overall leaderboard here. Bischoff is still second place. You have Breeze in third, Angle in fourth. Now, you do see Breeze and NXT do have more fans over WCW and Bischoff, but I believe the big thing that moves you ahead of other people in this is your Hall of Fame trophies. Whoever has the most Hall of Fame trophies will always be the top brand. So because of that, right now, it's only between us and Bischoff for the top GM this year right now. And there he is, Rey Mysterio. He says, "Hi Woods, great to be joining you at Smackdown. We're very happy to have him here." He says, "I'm raring to go and looking forward to my first match." Well, let's see where we could put the Hall of Famer. And for one more week, one more time, we have one Birth of Legends card available, plus 6 to these superstars. Now, we have 2 with 100, 1 at 96, and we have a couple more now in the 70s. For this week's show, we're going to kick it off with an opener tables match for the IC title. Your champ Jey taking on Edge. Edge will this time walk away as your new Intercontinental Champion. It's a level 1 feud as well. A 3.5-star opening match will take it. We get Rey Mysterio calling out Flint McStones, a 4-skill promo, level 1 feud. Again, we're trying to push Flint McStones to be one of our big stars this season as well. We have a fatal 4-way tables match here. The only rivalry there is KO and Otis, which we're going to grow. Otis put somebody through the table in a banger of a 2-star match, unfortunately. Does grow their feud, though, to level 2. Cody Rhodes getting a promo call out there for Montez for level 3 feud now developed mid-card. Again, just trying to develop this tag team rivalry. And Aaliyah and JC Jane with the win. 3-star match. You have a level 3 feud brewing. And then we have our Asuka versus Tamina rivalry now to level 3 in your main event for the SmackDown tag team titles. We're going to have a win from the champs. Braun Breaker and Joaquin Wilde retain 3.5-star matchup. So after our third week, our third show, everything evening out a little bit better here for us at the blue brand. You see right here, Jey Uso and Edge did a good job. Both gentlemen now over 80 popularity. Edge with the title as well, which is excellent to see. The mid card here, the popularity is growing for Otis, it's growing for KO. Flint McStone's up to 61. Triton, again, he's a project for us this season. We're seeing how far can we take King Triton with his rockin' 30 popularity right now. Not doing great. Looking at the mid card, Jace Jane and Aaliyah, 65 and 74 popularity. Dana Brooke and Roxanne Perez in the 50s, respectively. And then you got Braun Breaker and Joaquin Wilde, 65 and 57, and Madcap Moss and Axiom each at 52 popularity. And we're growing feuds all over the place. We've just learned that Breaker and Wilde are an incredible tag team. We gained 25,000 fans this week and a profit again of $176,000. NXT is one-upping us. They have 30,000 fan game change. Okay, so they're getting some retention here. Raw, holy smokanoles. 43,000 fans for Kurt Angle and Raw, putting together some shows, man. Wow. They are blowing us all out here. And then you got WCW with 40,000 as well. So something's working out well for Raw and for Bischoff and WCW. Now, fortunately for us is, again, we still have we have about 100,000 fans more than that of WCW, so we still have the edge, even though we're struggling on the outset right now. And Jey Uso says that he is not happy about losing to Strap last week, and he is enacting his rematch clause. He wants a championship rematch max against Edge. We'll get that done, don't worry, Jay. We'll give you a rematch. And Ronda has something to say here. You've had me on the bench for a while, and I really want to get back in the ring. It's time you woke up and put me in the ring where I belong. I want a match in this week's show. Ronda, absolutely. We're not going to keep you on the sideline very long. And just to make things very, very interesting, leading into our first pay-per-view next week, we have 2 more cheat code cards we can use. And WCW is really the biggest threat to us right now. So I'm looking at their roster, and who can I potentially steal? Yes, steal from the women's roster to bring over here to SmackDown to make a big impact. And I see her right here. She's got 93 popularity, 68 stamina. We're going to bring on Gigi Dolan, who's been doing excellent work in WCW this year. We're going to bring her on. She'll be here next week for the pay-per-view. Coming from Las Vegas, Nevada, the week before our first big pay-per-view with SummerSlam, here's Ronda. She was wanting a match. We made sure we're going to get her in there. Her feud is too much. We're trying to make sure we build it up. Grows to level 2. It's a 2.5 star opener as Ronda gets the win against Cora Jade. Not great. KO the call out here of Otis, level 3 rivalry. Here's our tag team women's action. Again, something we're trying to really build here. And Dana Brooke and Roxanne Perez with the first win they've gotten. It's a level 4 feud. Next week they'll be on for the titles as we see Asuka calling out Tamina, a 4-star rivalry. Again, Tamina's been unstoppable. Will Asuka have enough to be able to dethrone one of the biggest superstars in all of wrestling as we head to a fatal 4-way tables match here? Nothing on the line, but Ray with a win. Grows a feud between Edge and Jey Uso right there. You have Triton with a little promo trying to give him some popularity because the dude looks like a superstar. And then you have your main event. You have Cody Rhodes, the champ, taking on Montez Ford. Ford with the win in the lead up to our first pay-per-view. 3.5 star match, 4-star rivalry. Is it enough? Ladies and gentlemen, after this week, the curve for us was not horrible. Overall, actually, I think we had the most consistent week outside of NXT, who put on some really good quality things here. As you can see, NXT did a good job. Raw, I think, continues to do a great job as well. I mean, you got Angelo Dawkins and Roman Reigns putting on bangers. You got Big E and Angel right here putting on some bangers. So they're doing a really good job as well. Gigi Dolan in her final show with WCW. She'll be here next week. So she's dropped to 96 popularity now. So we'll see her here. Overall, we gained 23,000 fans, $178,000 in profit. NXT, they outdo us, 31,000 fans gained. Raw, they had a stinker, 15,000 fans from them. And WCW with 19,000. So NXT wins the week. We do get the network special card for completing a goal. That fans you show gains in week will increase by a large amount. So we get increase in fans. We also get the tables card as well. One randomly booked tables match on the show will have a higher rating than normal. We're still on top of everybody. We still have the highest budget out of everybody as well. So things are still moving in the right direction for SmackDown and Xavier Woods, as here we lead to SummerSlam. And Gigi Dolan says, "Hi Woods, great to be joining you at SmackDown. I'm raring to go. Look forward to our first match. We may not be able to get her in a match this week necessarily, but we will have plans for her moving into the next episode." And this week is big. I'm going to use our network special for this pay-per-view. Your fans will, the fans you show gains this week will be increased by a large amount. We're going to go ahead and use that. Make sure we get as many fans as possible after this big pay-per-view. We're also going to go ahead and use Tornado Alley to give one of our randomly booked tag matches as a tornado tag match is a higher rating than normal as well. It's time for SummerSlam. The card is stacked. We have our opening matchup here. We're getting ready for Asuka versus Tamina for the Women's Championship. Who will take home our trophy and take home as a new or retained champ? Let's see here. After the pinfall, it is a new champion, Asuka, in a legendary matchup. 5 stars as your new SmackDown Women's Champion, Tamina. Nobody Mina has been defeated, finally. And then we get a promo here, Ronda Rousey calling out Cora Jade. Level 3 feud leads to the next pay-per-view. Getting ready for some tag team action here. Now we have Aaliyah, JC Jane, Dana Brooke, and Roxanne Perez. And the winner of this matchup will be your champions retain. It's a five-star legendary matchup completing the tag team feud as we lead to a charity spot for our newest acquisition. We have Gigi Dolan. Welcome to the brand, getting an excellent promo rating there. And it's time now for the mid-card IC title championship matchup. You have your champion Edge taking on Jey Uso. And the winner of this one will be Jey Uso in a classic 4.5-star level 3 feud. He takes home and is your brand new IC title champ there. It's excellent to see. It's changing hands back and forth. Braun Breaker with a good little promo here. We have a fatal 4-way here. Let's see who will take home the win here. This is just purely for momentum. It's KO and his show with the win. Rivalry now complete between him and Otis. And a last charity spot between my favorite Power Ranger, Axiom. And time for the main event. Cody Rhodes, your champion, defending against Montez Ford. So here we are. It's the backstage brawl for the WWE Universal Championship. Who will take home the trophy here? And we're in for a big matchup here, backstage brawl. And will it finally be Montez Ford's chance to take home and be the big champ on one of these brands? Then after blow, these two men went head to head and it was back and forth, but Montez Ford would outlast the American Nightmare, Cody, and be the new champ. Unbelievable finish to our first pay-per-view, 5-star legendary feud and matchup, and Cody Rhodes is dethroned. Montez Ford, and the era of Ford is now upon us as an excellent show was concluded. And taking a look at the drama curve, we've had some slow weeks in the build in this last month building to SummerSlam, but when the cards are on the table and all chips are down, our brand always performs at peak high performance. So you see how we did there. We had one, if you want to call it a stinker. It was a 4-star match. It was still outstanding. Overall, one of our best shows we've ever put on, and nobody other than NXT really came even close. They put on some good matches. They didn't even have any titles on the line, but had Iron Man matches out the wazoo. They had a tables match here, steel cage there. Not enough though for us, right? Not enough. We just dominated overall. Let's take a look. Let's see the show notes. As we gained 218,000 fans, we didn't make any profit. The 218 is the score to beat NXT, and you don't beat it. 132,000, we'll take that. Raw, 102,000. Get out of here, Kurt. And WCW with 108,000. Bischoff, we're about to put you out of business. It's a huge week. We get a pre-match physio card for completing that. We get a to the moon. We're going to give somebody a plus 15 popularity. That's clutch. We are number 1. 4.7 million fans. Still the top budget. And there you see right there, alongside Xavier Woods, your 2 new champions as we get ready to head into the next episode towards Extreme Rules.